Um, if you haven't watched the news, you may have seen that Israel was attacked this week, and they've now declared war on Gaza. And I want you to understand something. As Christians, we should never cheer on war. Like, that's a bad thing. There are going to be innocent people, children, women, on both sides that are going to suffer during that. So, I want to remind us of that. But I also, because you'll hear a lot of criticism in the world, like, oh, you Christians, all you care about is Israel. And we, as Christians for 2,000 years, yes, we care a lot about Israel because it is our spiritual home. As a matter of fact, God, to the very first Israelite, Abraham, I want to read you something, and this is why, as the people of God, we want to bless Israel, if it makes sense. God said to Abraham, the first Israelite, he said this, "I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. And I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you." That's one of the reasons we bless Israel. "I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse. And all the peoples of the earth will be blessed through you." And see, that was a prophetic word that God gave to Abraham, and it came true because the whole world was blessed by Israel. Do you know why? Because Jesus, the Messiah, the Son of God, came from Israel. And this is why we as Christians always stand with God's people, because you have to understand the Bible talks about that if you are a Christian, you've actually been grafted into God's people. You're like a wild olive branch grafted into the tree, to the olive tree, if that makes sense. You know, look at your neighbor and say, "You're a wild branch," I'll tell you that. It's true. If you're a Christian, you're a real believer in Jesus, you were grafted into Israel. Right? We're not like a different thing. We're like the weird guy that got adopted into the family. But we're part of the family, if that makes sense. And we stand with them. And I want to remind everyone, there'll be all kinds of political opinions on it. I could care less about those. Here's what I know. One day, the Messiah will set his foot on the Mount of Olives. It will split in two. He will walk through the eastern gate of the temple. And he will set up his reign forever. And from Jerusalem, the whole world will come and bow at the knee of Jesus. It says that every knee shall bow, every tongue shall confess. And here's the crazy part. From Jerusalem, a river will flow out. And you say, how will that happen? I don't know if you realize this. The Gihon Spring is in the middle of Jerusalem. It'll come right out of there. And it says that the tree of life will be there, and the river will flow from Jerusalem where Jesus sits on his throne. And it says the leaves of the tree of life next to the river, will be healing for the nations. Healing for the nations. Here's what that means. That one day there will be true peace. And it will only happen through Jesus.